2, 1. So hello guys, this is Delta Pace Division 2. We're gonna have the race number 4 in Abu Dhabi. Alongside with me there's Peter, also known as Pistol Racing. Welcome in, Peter.
Hey Chris, thanks so much for having me. Always a pleasure to join you in the comms box and commentate on this fantastic league.
Lovely. So in the meantime we'll have a full grid, thankfully, some reserve drivers as well, and we have already seen a couple of drivers who already came out with the medium tires. One of them is Nigel, which is one of the main contenders for the Division 2 title, alongside with TTV Pengus Lair, who is with these soft tires.
So I think three drivers I really want to keep an eye out on tonight, having seen the performance last week at, if my memory serves me correctly, Baku. The drivers I really want to keep an eye out for tonight: Swoosh Strider, Wi-Fi Unicorn Power, and as you said, Nigel C7. I think I saw some fantastic performances from them, and I know Unicorn Power has got some really good pace as well, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does this evening as well. Really happy to see my good friend Pergy back on the grid. It's been a while since seeing him racing.
Yes, it's true. To be fair, today he informed us that he can make it for the race. So I'm very happy to have him here as well. So welcome back, Pergy.
So welcome back, my friend. It's always good to see you on the grid. And yeah, I think Abu Dhabi, interesting track. What do you make of it, Chris?
Well, yesterday we had the race in Division 1, and what I can say is that it's a nice track. I mean, it's a nice long track where overtakes are in this game are very possible and everything, but you need to be very wary on the curbs. Once you touch the curb, you can force an error so easily. Yesterday, I think we only finished, I think, 8 drivers or 7, and we were full grid. Grid. More than half of these drivers, they made unforced errors on themselves and because of the curbs, and they DNF'd. So I think something to look for is the curbs and the limits of the track.
I have done the same in another league. I was doing so well, leading the race by over 5 seconds, and I think it was turn 2 and 3, just coming to the end of sector 1, and bam, that curb. And goodbye wheel. It really is that simple. It's one of those corners that when you get the line right, you're going to gain so much time just in the slingshot. But once you get it wrong, you've got nowhere to go. You really have nowhere to go, really, do you? So
fully agreed. I mean, it is a make or break corners. These are make or break corners, and turns 2 and 3. I think there are some instances in the quali maybe you can go flat out, but in the race it's a very hard line whether you take it flat out or otherwise.
And of course during the race you do have to consider tyre wear, and one thing I found about Abu Dhabi, you have to set your car up one way or the other. It's either going to be for speed or it's going to be for traction through the likes of sector 3, and there's so much time to be gained in sector 3 by running high traction. But for me, I've always set my car up quick on Abu Dhabi, because I think if you can get ahead of those cars in sector 1 and 2, you're going to have they've then got to get past you in sector 3. Even if they have more traction, if you're good at defending, you can utilise the opportunity to attack in sectors 1 and 2, and in sector 3 you just try and make the best as you can. And I can see Pergy has retired on track, and
exactly after turn 3, Peter. So exactly what we mentioned. I mean, you can't really go flat out. I mean, is it the commentator's curse already?
I think so. And wow, I'm very impressed there by Scrout going pole and a 1:37.4.
It is a very good time. It's very good time. But we could then see King's Copper. Wow, that was a lap and a half. That was a lap and a half with a 1:35.8. I think yesterday I have managed to do 1:35.7, and I drive in Division 1.
So that's Tier 1 pace, that's Division 1 pace, isn't it? Wow.
Yes, and I came 6th or 5th, I'm not that sure. So, and I was only 1/10 better.
I think with this.
Pete, I don't think I'm hearing you. I think. Alright, now I'm hearing you. I think. Yeah, it's alright.
So what I was saying was I think tyre selection is going to be everything at this track, and I think Nigel has made a very sensible decision to do his fast lap on mediums, because this is such a long pit lane, and a one-stop strategy is only possible around this track on medium hard. It's pure and simple. You do lose a lot of time on the hard tyres, but I would rather, I mean, I don't know about you, because we're both very different types of drivers. I would rather try for the one stop and defend than I would the two stop and attack, because like we said, one mistake and you're in the wall and that's your race over. So I think Nigel's made a very sensible decision there, going on to the medium tyres, and the only one in the top who has set a lap so far that is on the medium tyres. I think a very sensible decision there. As we see, Wi-Fi Unicorn Power goes third with a 1:36.4, and Ryan Cal second on a 1:36.2. These are some seriously quick times around this track.
Yes. I'm still, to be fair, I'm still not surprised, but amazed, to be fair, with King's Copper's fantastic lap. That's Division 1 pace, definitely. I mean, I was hoping for.
He is a tier 2 driver.
Yes, he is a full-time tier 2 driver. Yes, but I can confirm that he is a very fast driver. I race with him in another league, and sometimes he beats me when it comes to quali, and sometimes he's almost exactly at my time. Maybe his race pace, it needs to be improved a little bit, but for the rest, I think he has become a very, very fast driver, and that I admire.
Sorry, I'm on board with Div2 who has literally lost it out of turn 1 and smashed his car down the pit lane. Yeah, that is a Haas with only 3 wheels left. Wow, that was. I was not expecting to see that out of turn 1, turn 3 maybe, but not turn 1. Wow. So, just Jeff.
Yeah, it's very possible as well after turn 1 and turn 2. As soon as you touch the curb, you've had it, and you press the throttle. Yeah. So yes, I can understand how that happened. I think it's a self-driver unforced mistake, unfortunately, and this is gonna happen. I mean, it's bound to happen in the race as well. I think I have ample experience in Abu Dhabi now. I think I have raced 2 in the F1 league, and another one with the Delta pace, and it's always the same story. Turns 2 and 3 are the worst if you try to go flat out. I mean, you need to really control the car. You really need to know how you take the line flat out without compromising your car during the turn.
I completely agree with you there, because like we said, if you mess up the line through turn 3, bye-bye. It's that simple, it really is. So so I'm having a look, moving up. I'm just trying to find drivers. We've got Swoosh Strider on the softs.
Yes, and he's on a fast lap.
Yeah, so let's get
I'm on board with him as well. So you were mentioning something when it comes to the tire strategy, and I think I'm just gonna put it in the discussion here. I think the medium to hard strategy is a safe strategy, but I don't think it's the best strategy.
Okay.
And only because I think that the hard strategy loses you much more time than you expect. I think the hard tires are at least 2 seconds slower than the softs. So over a span of 10 to 15 laps, you lose around 30 seconds. That kind of.
The delta between the tires is about 1.3 seconds per tire, so it's about 2.5 seconds. Because Nigel has lost it out of turn 3 as well. Nigel's lost it out of turn 3, so he will be starting on the mediums. He's not set another lap on the softs, but he was going out on the softs and has lost it out of turn 3. I think we're going to see some casualties there tonight, mate. Okay, I saw Swoosh Strider. I thought he was about to run himself into the wall in the penultimate corner, but either himself or myself are having connection issues. I think it might be my connection. I hope not. But let's see. And what's he going to do here? That's going to be a third 1.64. Wow.
And this is the time I was expecting, to be fair, from the Division 2 drivers. Not better than 1:36.4, 1:36.3, maybe somewhere on those lines. So seeing King's Copper, I think if I was King's Copper, I wouldn't go out again.
No, dear God, no. He doesn't need to. He really
doesn't need to. Really.
He's 4 tenths up on second place, and I mean, if he wants to secure, I mean, the thing is, you get 3 sets of soft tyres for the race and for quali. So could he? Yeah, he could. Does he need to? I think leave it right till the last minute, just to protect himself in case Ryan finds that, as we all know, if the track gets more wear on it, i.e. drivers driving it, it does speed up. So would it be impossible to find those 4 tenths? No, but I think I see 3rd and 4th gaining 6 tenths of a second. I really don't. So at worst, I'd be stunned if with that time he's not starting on front right. So does he need to go out again? No. Save your tyres, mate, because there are going to be safety cars. I think
I would agree 100%. I mean, because if there will be safety cars, for the first safety car you're going to go straight into the mediums, and then afterwards you have like another 2 set of soft tires, fresh soft tires for the race. And believe me, it's bound to happen. Ooh, Jordan Norris almost lost it out in turn 3. I'm on board with him. So continuing on this kind of what is the best strategy. I was discussing this, I think, even with my teammate yesterday. It's possible for a 2-stop strategy, soft, mediums, or a 1-stop strategy from soft to mediums if you are a tire lover. I think whatever the case, the 1-stop strategy is the best. Now, whether it is from medium to hards, or from soft to mediums, or from soft to hards, the 1-stop strategy is the best. But I wouldn't recommend the hard tires in particular, because the hard tires, as you have mentioned, the delta between the hard and the soft tires are 2.5 seconds. And if you split them in 10 laps, that's 25 seconds. That's a pit, a whole pit lane, you know?
Exactly.
And if a safety car...
this is one of the longest pits, because remembering that it's a very slow pit lane and a long pit lane, you've then got the exit, and it's I think the exit of the Abu Dhabi pit lane is the longest in Formula 1. So I think it's actually about 32 seconds. Ooh. And again, I've seen 2 cars retire around turn 3 in the last 30 seconds. This is going to be a very interesting race, but I really do think I will agree with you. However, I think the more cars that are on track, the more safety cars there are. It's obvious, because there's more cars to retire. So I would try and implement the strategy I used when we had that amazing battle in China. I'm implementing that strategy, starting on the mediums, really trying to make them last, and then going on the soft, say the last 8 laps. I mean, this is a 28 lap race. This is a very long race for how long the laps are. So I'm actually stunned at how many laps you get around Abu Dhabi when you think Monza is a 26 lap 50%, and it's about 15 to 20 seconds a lap faster. It's
agreed.
Kind of crazy. I'm surprised at how many laps you get at Abu Dhabi. Obviously, I'm guessing it's more about it being the season finale and Abu Dhabi and all of that comes with it. But,
as well.
I mean, it's a long race. It's a long race we're in store for.
I think, Pete, so sorry to interrupt, but I think according to the regulation of the FIA, I think the cars have to cover a specific distance. I don't know if it's 512 kilometers in a race in order to make it as a whole race, you know, as a whole.
Did you say 512 kilometers?
I think
it can't be that much, because that's about 300. Well, 300 miles is 480 kilometers, and I know. Take Monza for instance, that's a 192 mile circuit, full track. So it can't be 500 kilometers. I can believe 300. But this is also
it could be 312.
Tracks.
It could be 312. Maybe I have misread it, but I'm pretty sure that in the regulation there is a specific number of kilometers that have to be covered in order to be classified as a race. So maybe that's the main reason of that. And Monza, remember, it's a very fast track. So so that's mainly why there are less laps, because they cover so much distance in a shorter period of time.
No, it's true. I'm just actually going to have a quick look at that to have a look at the differences in distance. But that does make sense. What you're saying, mate, that does make sense. Abu Dhabi track.
I think I have read that from somewhere, but I'm not sure. Probably from the regulation. But yes, they have to cover.
Wow.
They have to cover a specific distance in order to call it a race.
300 kilometers. I think it's 300 kilometers because I'm looking here, and Abu Dhabi is only 5.5 kilometers, which is really surprising. I mean, of course, especially when you've got also pedal to the metal first sector and second sector. But yeah, it's 5.5, and when you consider that Spa-Francorchamps, which is about 7 kilometers, that's a big difference. So
exactly.
Yeah. So what you're saying makes sense, mate. It really does make sense, because if you think Spa-Francorchamps is about 7 kilometers and a 44 lap race, there you go. So what you're saying makes a lot of sense.
So this is the reason why there's 28 laps here and 26 laps in Monza, basically.
Yeah.
Although we prefer to have a 60 lap race.
Wow. Monza is actually a longer circuit than Abu Dhabi.
Exactly.
Wow. That's
so
the thing.
So that's the main reason, basically.
Yeah, makes sense now. It does make sense. This track is obviously seen as far more twisty turny. I guess when you think about it, like, the last sector is over 35 seconds, so that is a long sector for any track, really, isn't it? So yeah.
Agreed. Fully agreed on that.
So I can see King Scotty has retired from the session.
Yeah.
I believe that was in the pits. So I might be listening to your stream, mate, or just decided no one's going to catch me that could possibly get there. Now I'm going to go on board. I don't know if you're on board with Swoosh Strider. Swoosh is just about to start his first another flying lap. So on board
currently on board with him as well. I think this is now or never for him.
Yeah. I think he's obviously aiming first row. That time by King Scott was an insane lap. So I think he's got to be aiming front row. He's matched his time through sector 1, but if he can get front row, obviously that's going to give him a much bigger advantage off the line. Let's see how it goes. See, Joshua Axelson and Quali has finished. We've got Lewis, gets out the way of his teammate, gave him a very nice tow there. The Alpine drivers working together to get Swoosh up onto the front row. Let's see what sector 2 is going to bring. Yeah, it's nice and open, hugging the inside line. I find this to be the best line. Bringing out, and
he's improved by 1/10, yeah. So he's getting very close. He's very close to Ryan.
Get another 20 thousandths of a second to pip Ryan Cow, who hasn't improved on his time. So he needs another 200ths of a second to improve to get up into second place. Let's see if he can do it. That's a good line through turn 18.
Lovely line, lovely turn here. Now the last 2 turns. Oh, he didn't kiss the curve.
That's going to cost him a bit of time, and that's. I thought he was going to validate there, but let's see what is he going to do here. Huh?
Whoa!
Where did that come from?
Whoa! The last sector is a really make or break. I'm very surprised with that lap. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I think that was very close to my perfect time in the Division 1 race. It was 1:35.73 if not mistaken. So he's only 50 hundredths of a second slower than me, who came 5th or 6th in the Division 1 race. So that
was crazy.
Wow.
And during that time also Wi-Fi Unicorn Power picked Ryan Cow to 3rd. So Ryan Cow, who just a minute ago was 2nd, is going to be starting 4th with Swoosh Strider starting 1st, and King Scott is going to be starting 2nd. That surprised me. I guess Swoosh had a really bad last sector last time round, and this time he just nailed it. He got it as good as he needed to. So
exactly.
Well done there to Swoosh. Swoosh could be in our current championship lead, if I'm correct, yeah?
Well, yes, who's rider? Yes, I was gonna mention this exactly after this qualifying section. I was gonna mention the points and everything, but I'm still very surprised. I mean, well done, Swoosh Rider, and even King's Copper, to be fair. And I think King's Copper is a little bit of an advantage here because he has another 2 tires, fresh soft tires, just in case a safety car happens. So that's a little bit of a on his plus side. If you tell
Josh
me.
Wax starting on the mediums in the top 10 and the only driver to do so, so well done there for the Ferrari driver. Very good time there, just no chance of a second behind first. And like I said, I think the delta difference is about 1.3 seconds for the tyres around the track. So Joshua and Faith McBart in the Aston Martin showing some really good pace from where they qualified.
I would agree. 100%. And I think even Nigel could do a little bit better because only because he DNF'd.
Exactly.
You know, so he could have gone a little bit better with the mediums.
Definitely, I would agree with you entirely. However, you only get 1 set of mediums in quali, and he had already used them. You don't want to do 2 hot runs on mediums in quali. So I think he maybe was treating that more so as a banker lap, but it could have been. He's still got a decent lap out of it, and he's going to be starting in 12th, so it's going to be a bit of a. It's not going to be an easy challenge to get up through the field, but I think with his pace and obviously he's going to have free selection of tyres, including the fresh medium option. So it'll be interesting to see what he chooses to get himself up the field. Obviously, I'm sure he'll be kicking himself about that retirement. And like you said earlier, this track is great for overtaking.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's very possible that you start plumb last, and still get a very good race overall. So let's see. In the meantime, Swoosh Rider has come out for the formation lap, and in the meantime, I'm gonna mention quickly the points as we have them after race 3 Baku. So Swoosh Rider is perfectly at the top position with 75 points, 3 races, 3 wins. So of course he's a championship contender for sure. Then there's Nigel with 33 points, so the difference is quite there. There's Lewis with 31 points, Chepicho with 27 points, WFI Unicorn Power 27, Vroom with 22, Josh Waxelson 19, Ryan Kai 18, Andre, who is currently unavailable for this race, is also with 18 points. Jiggle Fingers has 16 points, Face McBot 14 points, King's Copper 10 points, so he will really need to master this race in order to get into the contention for the championship. Tommy TC with 6 points, Bennett with 6 points as well. There's Jordan Norris with 4 points, and F1 Immortal with 1 point. I think I have missed something because King's Copper has 6 points and not 10. And Bennett has 4, Jordan Norris 4, and F1 Immortal 1. On the other hand, there's the Constructors' Championship. There's the Alpine team who tops it off with no surprise because they are first and third in the championship. So they have 104 points. Then there's the Scuderia Ferrari with 40 points, Alfa Romeo with 33, Haas with 33 as well. There's McLaren with 30, Mercedes with 20, Aston Martin with 10 points, Scuderia AlphaTauri with 4 points, and Williams and Red Bull stand at the last 2 places respectively with 0 points.
So who's your favourite team? What team are you rooting for today?
So my favorite team in reality or in
on the game, because like my favourite team in reality and my favourite team on the game are 2 very different teams.
Yes, I agree with that as well. My favorite team is the Alfa Romeo.
Okay, cool.
So
I'm Haas all the way on this game, but in real life I'm McLaren. So
I agree. I mean, I like the Haas as well. I think it's the second preferred car, to be fair. So and then there's the Ferrari. Anything which is a Ferrari engine, I prefer its noise, to be fair. So
ditto. If I get a choice of what car I'm driving on this game, it's a Ferrari engine. So yeah, I agree. Right, so here we go. We are getting going. I'm on board with King Scott. I'll let you take the reins for this. Go.
Yep. So it's 5 lights, and Here we go with Swoosh Strider having a good start, but King's Copper makes it at the first corner, pipping it up in P1, and Cheppy Cho already loses it, and there's a lot of drivers losing the car out.
I think what happened there was contact there between Swoosh and Chappie Cho. Chappie got a fantastic launch off the start.
Yeah.
And there was contact between Swoosh, who seems to be lagging a lot. So there was a lot of contact between him and Chappie, and as Chappie spun, no other drivers had nowhere to go.
Yeah,
so,
agreed. So Ryan Kai was collected. To be fair,
places.
Ryan Kai was the one guy who was collected as well.
Yeah. So this will be an interesting battle for the two drivers. Chappie, Ryan starting in 4th, now down to 19th, and Chappie having started in 6th and up to down to 18th. However, that was a thunderous start by Chappie Cho. Like by turn 1, he was challenging for 2nd place. That was a fantastic start by Chappie Cho. So well done to him.
Yeah,
Purdy already up 7 places to 13th place. Wow, fantastic driving there.
I think the collision that there was in turn 1, not collision. I mean where Chappie span. Yeah, and I think Purdy took full advantage of it. Yeah,
right place at the right time. Agreed. Let's see how he progresses.
Oh, King's Copper lost the car already. Oh,
who's that?
King's Copper, the race leader. He has already lost the car, and I think he has wing damage as well. Yep, he has wing damage. He's gonna pit. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
What is he going to go on to? Medium, and he gets a 5-second
penalty by speeding the pit lane. Yeah.
This race is going from bad to worse for the Alfa Romeo driver.
I feel bad for him because he had a very good start of the race.
Of course. Going on to the medium, so looking medium, obviously, and we've got 7 drivers in the pits. The Alfa Romeo's double stacking, Chappie Cho.
Oh, and we have carnage in turn 3.
Nigel is out.
Yes, there was carnage in turn 3. I am currently on board with F1 Immortal, and he just passed with literally I think three cars which were wrecked. Literally.
I think Kieran Barr is one of them. Kieran Barr looked like he had come into some sort of collision there with Nigel, like after the aftermath, so to speak. Correct me if I'm wrong there, guys on the stream, but yeah, it looks like there might have been a few cars there getting involved, and Nigel, the Haas driver, out of the race already. So a disappointing show for the Haas driver, but still a very long race. We are under VSCs, and Torsif gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC, so that's going to wreak havoc on his race.
Yeah, that's true. At least I'm a little bit surprised that a safety car didn't occur, because I'm pretty sure that in turn 3 there were 3 cars. One of them was wrecked, and the other 2 maybe they slid and hit the wall and had wing damage.
I must admit, there have been some incidences recently. I've been like, how is that not a safety car? But obviously this is, forgive me for saying this is a game, it's not real life, and wreckages are cleared up a lot quicker on a game than they are in real life. Oh, I've just seen Lewis has lost it coming out the last corner. He's going to have wing damage. He connected the wall there. He's going to have wing damage. He's got an entire lap to do before he can get back to the pits.
Oh, yes,
definitely serious wing damage. He is going to plummet, and this is going to give the likes of Jigglefingers and Purgy up, with Jigglefingers running wide and Purgy a fantastic line there. Through turn 3, but he's lost it. He's gone.
And he's
Purgy is gone. He was using his ERS through turn 3, and he's gone exactly the same way as he had done in qualifying. He's lost it. Unfortunately, Purgy was already up 13 positions from the start place.
I was about to congratulate Purgy for making 13 overtakes, and I'm thanking God now that I didn't say anything, because that was going to be a perfect commentator's curse.
Yeah, it would have been ideal timing for a commentator's curse. That was just wow. Unlucky there, Purgy. Unlucky, my friend.
Unlucky, mate.
But these things will happen. Obviously, when you're getting used to a new game and you've not played in a while, it will happen. Because see now, Pengu Slayer going around the outside of Lewis. We should have DRS now, but Lewis not losing as much time as I would have expected him to have lost. So he's holding that car really well. bearing in mind that he has got front wing damage and major front wing damage. So
yes, he does.
He's managed that car very well through sectors 1 and 2.
Yes, now sector 3 is gonna be the sector that he loses the time the most because there are a lot of turns, but he definitely has the damage. I mean, he's struggling so much to make the corners work for him.
The driver I'm now paying attention to, Facebook Bot. Now, we've got Wi-Fi Unicorn Power and Phase. Wi-Fi Unicorn Power started on the softs, and Facebook Bot I know started on the mediums, and he's already up from 11th to 3rd. So
yeah,
as long as he can keep it clean, he will become de facto leader at some point, because these softs will go off quick. But I wouldn't be surprised if by lap 6 or 7 we've got pit stops off of the softs.
I fully agree. Unless there are drivers who are gonna go very long for a one-stop strategy.
But
the softs will go off after 7 laps. They will definitely go off.
I remember when I did a hot lap around Abu Dhabi in a quali session, my tyres were at 12% by the end of the lap, and it was just crazy. Now we've got Phase and we've got Uniform Wi-Fi Power, who had DRS, and Phase didn't even battle it. He had the DRS and obviously ERS, and made light work of getting past Phase, who held a very tight inside line, but Wi-Fi Unicorn Power just had so much more speed.
Yes, I agree 100%. I'm just on board with Phase, and I've seen all the action. I think WFI Unicorn Power has much more ERS, and that's why he has made it work. Phase McBot has already less than 10% ERS, so he couldn't even defend. However, I think he is still the de facto leader because he is on the medium tires, and he's only 2.5 seconds away from Swiss Strider.
And he will have DRS through these straights. Now, I don't know about you, I prefer to get the overtake done on the second DRS straight, pure and simply because of pure and simply because then you've got sector 3 and you don't have to worry about the DRS. But if you get the move done in the first DRS straight, you then need to defend the second DRS straight, and it's
exactly.
Yes,
I would prefer that.
It's sort of unproductive.
I would prefer that. In the meantime, I'm on board with Ice One. I think he's gonna disqualify himself because he has went into a safe place to disqualify himself, and he has just been lapped as well. With regards to your earlier question, so yes, I would prefer to overtake in the second part of the DRS because mainly.
Can I interrupt you there? Because we've got a huge battle here for 3rd. Now Wi-Fi Unicorn Power has gone down to 4th. We've got Joshua Axon, who also had ERS, and Phase McBot battling hard, but Joshua Axon has completed the move and is up to second place. In the Ferrari. Wow, that was very aggressive and very good driving there by Joshua. Phase running very wide.
I don't think there's damage involved. I think it was very hard racing.
It was hard, clean racing. That's all it was. But it was fantastic driving there by Josh Axelson, as well as Phase and Wi-Fi Unicorn Power. I think he got the slipstream off his teammate. Unicorn Power knew he didn't have DRS. He knew Joshua would, and bam, they made it work for the team. Which I think, as much as you want to win every race, you also need to think, okay, well, if this driver's faster at this track for me, I'm not holding them up. I'm going to help him as much as I can. And I mean, Josh is up 6 places. He's on the mediums. He's doing brilliantly. I've got to start wondering if we are at the crossover, because we're 6 laps in now. Wi-Fi Unicorn Power is really struggling to keep up with Phase and Joshua, who are both on mediums.
Yeah, it seems that the crossover is starting between this lap and lap 10, maybe. And there will be some drivers with the soft tires that will go to the pits to have a fresh set of tires. We were mentioning the second DRS zone. I'm currently with Josh Waxelson, who has Phase McBot and WFI Unicorn Power attacking in the second DRS zone, and it seems that the second DRS zone is the best one because for Phase McBot, even when he doesn't have the ERS, because its back part is really blinking, he still made the move happen.
Exactly. All the time, Reece Ross catching up but running very wide there. I've got a fantastic aerial shot here of the battle between second and fifth, and all the while this is just allowing one thing. Our championship leader to get away. 4 seconds clear of FaZe and Joshua now on the medium tyres. Obviously these guys are battling hard and that costs you time. So, but a gap has now formed between Josh Axelson and his teammate, and there we go. Wife Unicorn Power is into the pits. Let's see what he changes on to. Is he going to go 1 stop or 2? We will see. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. That's an Aston Martin. It looks like. Is it the Aston Martin of Pengu Slayer? He's lost it into the pit. He's lost it into the pit wall and he's been disqualified and presumed for being parked in a dangerous location. Ooh. So that's another Pengu Slayer in the Aston Martin. So, and we've got a spin. It looks like a harsh driver in sector 2. That would be Torsif. He's lost it. I'm not quite sure where that is. Coming around the end of the second DRS straight, I would say. Yeah.
I'm thinking,
just after the caution.
I'm thanking God that he didn't cause the safety car. I think he has parked it safe to disqualify himself.
Now King Scott is back up to 5th. He's gone largely unnoticed since having to pit on the, was it the first or second lap he had to pit, but he's doing very well back up to 5th place. We have had a few retirements, but still fantastic driving there by the Alfa Romeo driver. He's got F1 Immortal 1.2 seconds behind him, and F1 Immortal has gained 13 places. Currently our DOTD, obviously with the most places gained, but Reece Ross up 10 places from his start position in 14th, showing that these drivers on the I believe Reece is on the mediums are really
he's on the
starting
mediums.
to progress. I'm really starting to progress. So,
and Facebook has just made it to first, but only because Woostryder has just pitted now. So Facebook, he's one of the highest position change, which is positive for him. He started in 11th and now he's first and he spun. Oh my God, I'm cursing people. I think I'm cursing people, Pete. Because as soon as I have mentioned FaZe, he just spun, literally, and I'm on board with him. I'm sorry, FaZe. Yeah,
12
just lost the car.
But at least his race isn't over. He's on 7-lap old mediums. Now will be the time to get in because those tyres are going to be steaming, absolutely steaming. So let's see how he does.
In the meantime, Josh Axelson is now leading the race with Reece Ross currently in P2, who is doing a fantastic race. Hopefully, I don't curse this, Reece Ross as well.
He's so far having a good race. Yeah, let's see how the rest of his race goes. But he is doing a great job in that Williams. Great to see Williams back up.
Agreed, 100% agreed. And what I have to mention is that Reece Ross is a Division 3 driver, so he's reserving in this division. So that's a full marks for him at the moment.
Yes, especially as a Division 3 driver, to come up to a new tier and as a reserve and currently sitting on a podium position, only driver within 12 seconds of our race leader. That's brilliant. I think Wi-Fi Unicorn Power 19 seconds behind Josh Axelson on fresh mediums. That surprised me. I would have thought the pit stop would be a lot quicker. It would have been a lot longer than that. So either a very quick pit stop or Wi-Fi Unicorn Power is getting on it. So to see a good battle going on for. Oh no, so FaZe has pitted now, and King Scott is up to 4. Now, how long is he going to be able to make these videos last, I wonder?
And FaZe McBot has wing damage as well, so he has changed his wing. And he has gone again with the medium tire, so probably he's going to go for a 2-stop for medium, and then he has to turn into soft tires. The only minus thing about this, it's FaZe McBot. And the only minus about this is when if a safety car happens right now, because that would be very difficult for him to have a chance to winning the race, because then he would need to change the tires eventually, but he wouldn't maximize out of those tires.
I see. I don't know about that because it's like we are. I mean, the tyres are going to wear. We know that. I think the mediums are going to. They might last 12 laps at best. So if Swoosh, like say if Hayes gets a safety car now, he can push that to say lap 21, 22, then get onto the softs and absolutely slam them and give himself a real advantage. And plus, obviously, any safety car is going to bring the pack back together. Currently sitting 40 seconds behind our race leader. That will give him a great chance to catch up. Obviously, the drivers ahead of him, the likes of Josh Axelson, Reece Ross, King Scott, F1 Immortal and Chappie Charlton, I'm sure will pit again onto a new set of tyres. But you're going to have, there would be a shake-up in positions, without a doubt, and it's only ultimately going to bring him closer and on fresh softs, on fresh mediums, sorry. So, interesting choice there by Josh Axelson going on to the softs.
I think he's on for a two-stop strategy, Pete, I think. Because he has fitted in lap 10, yeah, probably he's gonna go maybe 8 to 9 laps and then another 8 to 9 laps with another set of softs. That is what I would presume.
I think that's ambitious. If I'm completely honest, I think that's ambitious with, like I said, tyre wear, with the tyre wear and check. I think that's ambitious. So let's see how it works out. I'm sure these drivers have prepared and practiced for this race, so I wish that luck. Let's see how he does. We've got Jiggle Fingers on 3-lap-old softs now. I'm not sure what Jiggle Fingers started on. I'm going to check the race director to have a look what did Jiggle start on. Started on the softs as well, so he's doing 2 batches of softs. Now, he made them last 7 laps, so but that also includes quali. Okay, maybe 9-10 laps is doable, because if we can do it on a heavier fuel load, obviously that's going to increase tyre wear. So
yeah. I have made my research, Pete, about this kind of possible one-stop with a soft to medium strategy. I believe that the soft strategy can last around 12 laps. The soft strategy can last around 12 laps, while the medium strategy can last around 18 to 20 laps. But of course, and in the last 5-6 laps, your tires will be shattered, literally shattered.
I had that yesterday in a race. I had to pit early due to a collision with a driver, and I think actually it was just on the game. It wasn't like an online race; it was on the game. And so I did. This was at Bahrain. I ended up doing a 24-lap stint on the hards. In a 50% race, so 24 out of 28 laps, and my tyre wear by the end was about 75%. So by the end, I was losing about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds a lap to the drivers behind me because I was so having to conserve my tyres. It was something else. But so you do lose a lot of time, and if you're on, and the thing is, if you're on the say worn mediums, you're going to lose. You're going to lose less time than on worn softs, because once the softs go, they're going to go, and very quickly, whereas the mediums obviously slightly less wear. So it will be an interesting tactic. If Josh, with Josh, has Josh pitted again?
Yeah.
No, he's just pitted.
No, he just pitted. He just pitted. Yeah. And in the meantime, I was on board with Reece Ross, who has just lost out with Swoosh Strider. So now Swoosh Strider is leading the race with relatively fresh mediums, while Reece Ross is on relatively old medium tires, but he hasn't pitted yet. And I think they both have to pit again. So it's going to be interesting now to see whether they go for whether Swoosh Strider goes for another set of mediums or maybe a set of softs. Of course, Reece Ross has no option but to go for the soft tires, unless he plans to go for another set of mediums and then for a fresh set of softs. But I would believe that Reece Ross is going to go long with the mediums.
Let's see. We've got a good battle here for second place between King Scott and Reece Ross. I think this is a battle that's going to close in very quickly. So I'm going to sit on board with it.
Yeah, I'm on board with Josh Axelson right now, who is currently sits in 5th place, and he's very, very close. Oh, I think we have a spinner. I think it's Kieran Barr.
Yes.
Kieran Barr had just lost it out in turn 3, but I think he only has wing damage. And Vidiaro Tausif has left the session. I was noticing that his Haas car was all over the place, to be fair. So maybe has just parked somewhere safe.
King Scott has run very wide into, I think it's turn 15, and that has nearly left the door wide open for Josh Axelson. He was attacking Reece Ross, their preferred play, second place, and I guess had to take evasive action to avoid a collision. But that was very interesting just to watch. Reece Ross has run wide, King Scott has got second, Josh is through into third, and Reece Ross is down to fifth. He had to yield rail or no get damage. So Reece Ross is now down to fifth due to his
I think his medium tires is starting to lose out, to be fair.
Yep, he's into the pits. Let's see. It's going to be interesting to see, does he go soft hard, does he go medium hard, or does he go medium soft soft? But I don't think...
I'm curious.
I think right now, if you're going to... I think if he pits onto the mediums, that is stupid. That is a bad decision tactically. So let's see what he
I think he's going to go for... He went for the hard tires.
Hards. He's gone hard.
I think he listened to you, Pete.
Because I was talking about this one.
Yeah.
This will be an interesting one. Let's see how he progresses through the race, because now he's, without any mistakes, he's done for the pits. But mistakes do happen, so let's see. I'm surprised he ran his medium so long. If he was aiming for a medium hard strategy, 13 laps on the medium, 15 on the hard are going to be significantly quicker than 13 lap on mediums. At this point, I think I probably would have pitted a lap or two earlier if I was doing a medium hard strategy. I would agree
100%. I think if I was on the soft tires and I went long, I would have pitted at the same lap that he had just pitted and go for mediums.
Yeah.
So I think he went very long with the mediums, considering that he was aiming for a medium to hard tire strategy. But we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe in the end he will be much faster.
Yeah, because obviously tyre deck is going to be a lot less. He's got the likes of FaZe Bart on 3 lap old mediums ahead of him. It's going to be interesting to see if he can keep up, but FaZe is already pulling away out of DRS range of Reece. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do with his tyres. I'm more interested to see how he compares to Scroud in 9th, because Scroud is on 10 lap old mediums. So I'm sure he'll be starting to feel the effects of tyre deck very shortly.
Yeah. In the meantime, Josh Baxterson has just made it to second place. He is on relatively fresh softs, and probably he's going to go for another stop for sure, Josh Baxterson. But he's literally flying, Josh Baxterson. He's reaching out to Swoo Strider slowly. In the meantime, King Scopper is still maintaining P3, and there's quite a battle between King Scopper and WFI Unicorn Power. I think King Scopper has just played the smart game here. I think he's trying to get the DRS out of WFI Unicorn Power, considering that King Scopper is on 11 old medium tires, and in fact the gamble has played. It has got the slipstream.
I think he's made a big mistake there. He's given Uniform Wi-Fi Power the DRS through the second straight. As we were saying earlier, he's got no ERS to protect, and this is going to be an easy move for this good driver.
That's true. I think his best choice could be...
Kieran Barr has lost it in turn 3. Kieran Barr has lost it in turn 3 and is out
and he has the NF.
We've got yellow flag. And
King Scopper almost loses the car. Yes, I'm on board with him right now.
Wow, no, I saw that and I was like, is he going to up in the wall?
He's on 11 lap old medium tires, so probably the medium tires are starting to go off slowly at this point.
Now is the time to get in the pit and change onto another set of mediums, because obviously this car's going to be a lot lighter now than it was on that 3 when he originally pitted, and to get that pit stop done. He's not got DRS. I'm surprised he didn't pit there. I would have been pitting there. But let's see. He obviously needs to make another pit stop. He's not making these mediums last to the end. That would be a miracle. So I was surprised not to see him pit there, because he's out of DRS range now of 2 faster drivers who are on fresher tyres. So I was surprised by that.
Yeah, that's true.
Having a look for a battle. Got a decent battle going on for 7th right now between Gingerfingers and Lewis. Just half a second separating the 2 drivers as we come through turns 2 and 3 there. Very good line there by Lewis.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
He's got it. He's definitely gaining time there on Jiggle.
Yeah. Jiggle Fingers is on 8 lap old soft tires, so probably they are literally falling off right now from him.
However, he's got a lot of ERS to defend with there. 37%. He's not even using his ERS.
Yeah, I think he has assumed that the battle is already lost with Lewis, of course.
I think he didn't want to try and get past him there, hold it, wait for the second DRS straight, and I think he's going to smash it now. Yep. Here he comes.
Yeah.
Lewis takes the inside lane. But wow, I mean the speed difference there between Jiggle and Lewis. I'm surprised Lewis didn't try battle a bit harder there. Ooh. Wow, the drivers side by side coming through turn 15.
So close.
A good line. That was some good battling there. Whoa!
That was very close. Very close.
That was millimeters separated. Wow. Just wow.
That was quite some battle, and FaZe McBot is literally scrubbing his hands right now, and he's like, yeah, continue battling like this, so, you know, he can make...
Jiggle pep.
Yeah.
Nope,
No.
staying out.
I think he's going... Yeah, I think he's staying a little bit longer, so that he can apply another set of soft tires.
He needs to stay, I think he needs to get another 3 laps out of him.
Yeah.
2 to 3 laps, easy.
But he's gonna lose out to FaZe McBot, for sure.
Yes, easily. Yep. We've got
Sector
a yellow
3.
flag in
Sector
Sector 3,
Immortal.
it's a Mercedes.
F1 Immortal.
Oh, it's damaged, but he's not out. He is going
damage
to
for
pits.
sure. He's gonna pit for sure.
Yep. Let's have a look. I'm going to get back on for this battle for 8th place. Reese Ross now joining it. Reese Ross on the hards. Did say I wanted to keep an eye on him, so he's 17 seconds ahead of Scroud. Now, if I remember correctly, he was about a second behind Scroud when Scroud pitted a few laps back. So, Scroud potentially does have the ability to get up to Reese Ross, I think. Ryan Cow definitely, he qualifying in 4th. I'm just trying to see what time he's on. He is on though, 13 lap on me, so possibly not. As we see Jiggle Fingers and Basement Bot going side by side into turn 14.
Oh, I'm currently on board with Reese Ross, and I'm seeing all the action between FaZe McBot and Jiggle Fingers, and
Ditto.
And Reese Ross is literally like saying, yeah, continue fighting like this, I'll take the positions. But he's very close. I think he's still analyzing the guys, and at the first mistake he will pounce in, definitely.
Easy, no, definitely. Plus, if there are no mistakes, he'll have a double toe on ERS.
Exactly.
DRS. And Jiggle Fingers does make a mistake and he dives into the pits. So it is going to be Reese versus FaZe. Now FaZe, 6 lap old mediums. What do you reckon? Does he need to pit again? I think he does. He's done 2 sets of mediums, hasn't he?
Yeah, he needs to pit again for the softs. He needs to pit again for the softs. So I think he's slamming those tires, maybe till lap 21, 22 maximum.
Yeah.
And then he goes for the soft tires and literally give it the beans.
Yeah. And at that point, I mean, you'd be looking at a delta difference of about 3 to 4 seconds. He's losing a bit there through turn 5. Now he's right on the back of FaZe. I hear I'm not using my ERS if I'm Reese. I'm holding it.
Yeah.
But he's got it. He's gonna. I think he will complete the move here.
Ooh,
oh, he did have to get on the brakes there, but
very late move from FaZe. Very late move.
That was not. It was not in the braking zone.
Yeah.
So it was legal.
Ooh, and Reese loses out.
He's lost it. Thankfully, it was a rear wing connection, but yeah, he does lose out. Very little error. And Reese now falling 7 seconds behind FaZe, so decent now. Jiggle and Jordan are battling. Jordan not giving much of a battle there to Jiggle Fingers, who has retired, who has made the move into 12th place. As we see, F1 Immortal has lost it again through turns 2 and 3, but no safety car. So and as I say it,
there's a safety car.
This is going to mix it up big time.
And King Scopper is on 15 lap old medium tires. So if he has the chance, now is the time to pit for King Scopper. Now is the time to pit.
Yes,
and he dives in. He dives in. No, I think it's Chapicho.
No.
It's Chapicho.
It was
but
Chapicho
even Chapicho is on 15 lap old medium tires. So for Chapicho, So for
Perfect
Chapicho,
timing.
it's also a big plus, and he went on the soft tires. I think it's the best choice right now to apply soft tires, because the safety car will be out for around 2 to 3 laps. So literally you start on lap 20 or 21, which is enough for the soft tires to last till the end.
Reese Ross-Pep. I'm surprised to have not seen Reese Ross-Pep.
He didn't
I think
pit.
he should have used that opportunity. He's going to be on the hards. He is only a few seconds behind Bennett. However, he's 20 seconds behind Josh Axelson on fresh mediums. I think he's made a whoopsie there. He needed to get back onto those mediums or a fresh set of softs. He could have easily made these tyres last to the end.
Agreed, 100%.
Obviously, we are still under Delta. Scroud has now received 2 drive-through penalties for speeding under the safety car.
For Scroud and even for Chapicho, I noticed.
Has Chapicho got a drive-through?
Yep, I've seen that Chapicho got the penalty. I think I hope that the game is not glitching, mainly because I think because of the delta it's not showing or anything. I hope it's not the case.
Ditto. But yeah, I mean, 2 of our drivers, obviously they're unable to drive through under safety car regs. They will have to wait, and that's going to screw the race for the Alfa Romeo driver and the Red Bull driver. They're going to have to take them and pray for another safety car.
I have noted that Facemac bot
coming into the pits.
Yeah, agreed with King's Copper. King's Copper has just dived in. Swoosh Strider, WFI Unicorn Power, Josh Waxelson. He has dived in the pits, but he went on the medium tires.
Josh Axelson, yeah, he's now up to, is he going to come out second or third ahead of his teammate? It's going to be close.
Yeah, and even Bennett is on the medium tires. I'm very surprised that Face McBot has pitted, but he went for the hard tires. So I'm very surprised.
Face has pitted for the hard tires?
Yeah, Face has just pitted for the hard tires. Why? If I was him, I would have gone for the softs. Even if they are 10% old, I would have gone for the softs.
That makes absolutely 0 sense not to use the softs there, because he qualified on mediums. He didn't qualify on the softs, he qualified on the mediums. So that's surprising. Wow, okay, let's see what happens, but that is a surprise. What are our predictions for the rest of the race? What do you think is going to happen here?
I think that Swoosh Strider is the clear favourites. And there's WFI Unicorn Power, who doesn't have a penalty and is also on the soft tires, who is a clear contender. And there's also King's Copper. I think he will get P3, King's Copper. I think he deserves it. And for me, if he gets P3, I think he would be my driver of the day, to be fair, because he has spun out, he has gone almost plumb last, and he has recovered to P4.
Yeah, exactly. He's had a fantastic drive. I think for me right now, this driver's only made 1 error of judgment in the entire race. For me right now, the driver of the day is Reece Ross, up to 6th, tier 3 driver up to 6th, and I think the only mistake he's made is not pitting. He should have pitted onto fresh tyres. He is going to plummet. He is going to plummet. I think he will be lucky to get points now as he sits in 6th position. And I think that mistake will cost him dear. If I'm him, I'm getting into the pits now and I'm chucking on a fresh set of softs.
Agreed. I would prefer to get that last and have that opportunity to go up the field again.
Yes, exactly. When it's going to be this close, and we've got penalties to consider as well, and only 3 drivers don't have penalties. We've got Chappie Cho with a drive-through. We've got Ryan Cow with 12 seconds of corner cutting penalties, and Jordan Norris as well, so he doesn't have any penalties in 12. So this safety car is going to really have helped him out. He's on fresh softs in the Alpha Tower. He will get points today, and it just depends on how well he battles the drivers ahead of him, the likes of FaZe, who is on a considerably slower tyre. Like now, FaZe, who I would have put for a podium at the start after his great start and progression through the field, has made that wrong decision. Maybe it was an accident, maybe he meant to put on the softs but selected the wrong tyre. It could have simply been that, couldn't it? But if I make that mistake, I'm straight into the pits the next lap and I'm changing it. So I'm not so sure it was a mistake thinking through it. So But I think Jordan has got a fantastic chance here to grab some good points for the AlphaTauri team, and his teammate Bennett. Again, in the AlphaTauri, the two drivers have no penalties. So if Bennett, and I think keeping up with King Scotty is going to be very hard, because we saw his pace in qualifying. He's on fresh softs, and it's going to be a sprint to the finish. And I think he's going to be holding off the likes of Lewis and potentially Jiggle Fingers. Once we see Chappie Cho pit in, Lewis will be challenging. FaZe, I think he's going to struggle to challenge him as hard. I think it's going to be Jiggle who's really going to be challenging the likes of Bennett.
Yeah, that's true.
This is going to be 100%
true. I think Bennett is on the medium tire speed, so I would assume that maybe he starts to lose out at the first laps, but starts to gain at the last 3 laps.
Yeah, I'm not so sure, because we're going to have 8 laps of racing, 3 laps under the safety car, and some of these drivers have only pitted a lap ago, so their tyre wear is going to be minimal. Even at say 8% wear a lap, they're only going to be hitting about 50-60%, and 8% I think is really going for it around this track. So let's see, when does Swoosh drop the throttle? I thought he was going to go there. There we go.
Yeah, we go again.
And we are racing together at Abu Dhabi.
King Copper and Josh Waxelson having a tussle there. Ooh, and they touch.
Then it is past King's Copper.
I hope Josh Waxelson doesn't have wing damage, but he seems to...
I don't think so. He's got some fantastic pace right now. I don't think he does. Ooh, King's body having to slam onto the brakes there to avoid... Oh, and he nearly took Reese Ross there with his line. Reese Ross losing out to Chappie Cho.
So it seems that it's going to be a big one between Lewis, FaZe and Reese Ross. Three-way in this corner. Three-way. Oh.
FaZe backing off, but I thought there was going to be contact there between him and the McLaren. This is so tight. FaZe getting a better run through the second chicane. And
I think now Reese Ross is literally slamming his head somewhere. I think he's feeling the hard tires. Choice was the bad one.
Two McLarens. Oh, there's contact there between Ryan Cow and Reese Ross. I'm just trying to see if Ryan Cow has got wing damage from next.
I don't think he has.
No, he doesn't. He's got a good line there. And Reese Ross really backing off there in throttle there. He did not want to try and make that corner. So Reese Ross, as I predicted, down to last. And he's gone. He's gone. Reese Ross has gone, lost it huge.
And another safety
car. So we have one lap of racing. I think this is Facebook Box opportunity. He's got to get it. And now Chappie Cho, he's screwed. If he had taken his drive-through, he would now be in the situation where, bam, he could potentially be challenging, but he's still got that drive-through to serve, and he'll have to serve it the first lap.
Exactly.
Okay, now seeing Jordan Norris has pitted for
what I would say is that Reese Ross has caused the safety car. I hope that it was an unforced error, because that's usually a corner that it does make you spin, but if you're aware, if you take it good, it's not that hard.
It was an unforced error. I was on board with him at the time, and it was an unforced error. He had already dropped back from Jordan Norris when he was having a battle with Jiggle and Ryan. I think it was Ryan. Jordan Norris getting a drive-through penalty under the safety car. Maybe he didn't realise that there was a delta, but he's now got it. And I think, well, he's not even driving now. He's stopped. He's just waiting. Yeah, he's waiting to get.
I think he's gonna get disqualified.
Yeah, parked in a dangerous location.
And so, I wouldn't blame him, because what are the odds that another safety car occurs in a couple of laps time?
There isn't one. I don't think so. So, I mean, all of the drivers went hard out of that safety car restart, and like I said, I think Chappie Cho is going to be kicking himself for not going straight in with the safety car to serve his drive-through, but that is
Agreed,
racing.
agreed.
I do understand in a sense why he didn't, but like sometimes it's better. Like you just wanna, if you know you're gonna come last, or you think you're gonna come last, you wanna have a bit of a battle. You don't want to spend the last 6 laps just racing around a circuit. But then a situation like this happens, and it would have been a gold mine for him. So.
Yeah.
All the meanwhile, this is really screwing Ryan Cow's race as well, because Ryan has 12 seconds of penalties, the most out of any driver, obviously besides Chapicho's got his drive-through to serve, but...
Yeah, but on the bright side, the worst that he can have is P10.
Yes.
So, in 2 laps time, he would be pretty certain that he would be in the points because he would have completed 90% of the race. So he only needs these other 2 laps to complete in order to be very safely in the points.
Yeah. So.
And if I was Chappy, I would literally pit twice. One to serve the drive-through, and the other one to get the fresh soft tires to get the fastest lap. At least he gets 2 points.
Exactly, and he could actually, that does make sense. Damage limitation, so to speak, for the Alfa Romeo driver. I think one team that's going to be scoring very well today is Ferrari. It's currently sitting second and third. I mean, I'm not sure if Bennett is going to be able to challenge Josh Atkinson. I know Josh is a previous winner here in Delta Pace. I remember commentating on his first race, which he won last season in F1 2020. So he definitely has the pace to break that 3 seconds from Bennett, but will he be able to? It's the question. How much may his teammate help him out to ensure a Scuderia 2-3? Safety car will be in this lap. I'm not surprised by that. Obviously this is second lap of safety car regs and we are heading towards the end of the race, but one would hope Wi-Fi Unicorn Power may, unless he wants to go for the win against Swoosh Strider and stop Swoosh's streak of 3 turning into 4 consecutive wins here in Division 2.
Yeah, I completely...
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting between the first 2 drivers for sure, because Josh Waxelson is on the medium tires, so it's slightly slower than the soft tires at the moment, and so is Bennett. So it's mainly a 1-2 challenge between the 3rd and 4th challenge alongside King's Copper as well, who is on the soft tire. So I would expect that King's Copper needs to literally take full advantage of this and try to get the P3.
Oh, we've got a 5-second penalty for FaZe. FaZe has picked up a 5-second penalty for a collision with Ryan Cow, and I'm thinking that's Ryan Cow in the back of FaZe. So we go.
Yeah, and King's Copper already on the move, already trying to make the amendments for the first lap mistake. So let's see.
Chappie Cho down the inside. Leaves his teammate plenty of space, but I'm not quite sure what the Alfa Romeo driver could potentially accomplish.
I think Chappie Cho, from that 1 lap chance that he has, he's trying to help out King's Copper in the sense that he gets the slipstream, as much slipstream as he can by the end of the lap, I think. But let's see. Chappie Cho going wide.
He's run wide and has compromised his line as well as his teammate. His teammate now on the ELS wanting to get past and wanting to catch back up to Bennett.
In the meantime, he has already lost a second to Bennett. A second and a half. So I don't think it was the most clever idea from Chappie here.
Oh, there's contact there between Bennett and Josh, but I don't think any damage.
Oh, and FaZe but both lost the car. I think there was contact with Jiggle Fingers.
Is it terminal?
No, he's still driving. He's still driving. I think he knows that if he does another couple of laps, he will be definitely confirmed for the points.
Yeah.
But he has sizzling hot hard tires.
Oh, Bennett picks up that 3 seconds, so now this is a on-track battle as much as it could be. Swoosh going fastest for 1:38.7, already a 1.3 second lead over Wi-Fi Unicorn Power, who just cannot keep up with the pace of Swoosh. Oh, I thought Bennett was going to lose it there out of turn 1. He's really pushing this Alpha Tower.
Yeah, and he lost it. No! And he lost it. Pete, you have done your curse as well. Oh, but the car, to be fair, to be fully fair, the car seemed that it was losing in turns 2 and 3. It seemed that the car wasn't that stable. If I was him, I would have lifted, literally.
Yeah, I think you need to sometimes accept you're not going to win every race, and if you've already dropped 1.5 seconds in the first lap, set off second is still very respectable, and he's just cost the Ferrari team a lot of constructors points, 15 constructors points.
I would agree 100% about that. If it was me, I would kept it consistent, drive it till the end, get P2. I don't care if I get a P2 instead of P1, because I think a championship is won if you're most consistent, and I think the most consistent driver here is Strider, to be fair, because although he always finishes first,
that's pretty consistent. Yeah,
he's very consistent. He doesn't make mistakes, to be fair. He doesn't have a penalty. I think out of the whole field, except for Chepicho, who has served his drive-through penalty, Strider is the only driver who doesn't have a penalty.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan Calf, I mean, here's the thing, Chepicho has got the potential here to get 7th right now. Like, Ryan Cowell's got 20 seconds of penalties. He will drop to 9th here. We've got Facebook Bot getting past King Scott, who's in the pits. I'm guessing King Scott
could have damage.
Could have damage, or he's just looking to do the fastest lap, but that was costing points.
Let's see.
It cost him points, so it makes no sense. That's how much.
Definitely damage. He's changing his front wing, and I think it's the best lap for him.
We've got a yellow flag. We've got Facebook Bart has lost it.
Yeah. So sizzling hard tires.
Chappie's up to 6th on the track. He's 13 seconds behind Ryan, and Ryan has got 20 seconds of penalties. So this is looking good for Chappie. He's gonna, without making any mistakes, he's gonna get second. He's gonna get 6th, and we've got a good battle going on for second. Josh Axelson has got Bennett right on his rear wing. Josh on the outside, but Bennett on the inside takes it through the second DRS straight, and with just 2 and a bit laps to go, Bennett in the AlphaTauri up to second.
Yeah, agreed 100%. Bennett does a great move, and given the circumstances, Bennett would keep second place even if he has the 3-second penalty, because all the drivers behind him all have the 3-second penalty. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is literally an on-track race between the 4 drivers, between 2nd and 5th, and it's a close one. There's only 3 seconds separating 2nd to 5th, so 1 error is all it's going to take for any of these drivers to drop down the field. So let's see how they do. 2 laps to go of this 28-lap race at Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I think King Scopper is trying for the fastest lap, and in the meantime he got the 3-second penalty as well, but I think he's trying for the fastest lap, because given that he has changed the wing, I think he's trying for a damage limitation here, basically. Trying for the fastest lap, get the extra point apart from the 2 points that he already has, because if he DNFs now, he will still get the points. Yeah, he has mastered the sector 3 for sure, so I would believe that for this lap he is gonna try to send it, hopefully not into the wall. And I cursed him.
Did curse. You cursed.
My god, what I said.
You cursed it.
Literally.
Literally the second you said it.
Oh my god, no, I was on board with him.
To be fair, I'm not using ERS around that corner. You kind of need the additional traction around that corner. I think that was a rookie mistake there from King Scott.
Yeah.
That was a rookie mistake. You don't use ERS around the final corner at Zandvoort. You don't use the ERS around turns 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi, you just don't. You're asking to lose it.
Exactly.
So I mean, Bennett is now second clear of Josh Axelson. Josh is out of the DRS range, and you've got Lewis on the soft tyres, right on his back. It's going to be an interesting battle for 4th going into the last lap. For the final podium position. Is Josh going to have what it takes? He needs that DRS slipstream. So he's got some game to do, and Lewis does he risk it all? He's got through turns 2 and 3.
Yeah.
He's gonna have DRS. And
every driver will need to risk it, to be fair, because every driver from 2nd to 5th, they all have the 3-second penalty, so they need to make it count this lap.
Well, I mean, there's a case of risking it, but there's a case of it being a sensible or stupid risk. Like, do you put it all into turns 2 and 3, risking, let's say, 12 points that Lewis currently has to try and gain 3 more, and potentially lose the 12 that you get? If you spin out of turns 2 or 3, for example, you retire and you're going down to 4 points, for example. So
exactly.
It's a big gamble, but he got through them. I don't think he's going to get the move done. No, he's not closing quick enough on Josh.
No, I think Josh is going to keep that P3.
There are a few turns here where grip can make a big difference. So let's say Ryan Cow picking up another penalty, getting very close to disqualification, you see.
Yeah. And he's definitely gonna finish above FaZe McBot, because FaZe McBot has 8 seconds worth of time penalties, but he doesn't.
Seconds.
Yeah. So definitely.
And we've missed our race winner, Swoosh Strider, taking his 4th win of the season, crossing the line.
Yeah. With
Bennett
P1.
taking 2nd, Josh taking 3rd, and Lewis taking 4th with Jiggle Fingers in 5th. Ryan Cow crossing the line in 6th, but he will drop to Chappie Cho. Chappie Cho has had a horrid race today, but will take 6th place. Great result there for the Alfa Romeo driver. And last but most certainly not least, we were just waiting to see.
Yeah, Chappie Cho, to be fair, he started in P6, so in the end he didn't lose anything.
Exactly. And who's got the fastest lap? Was it? I do believe it was fastest lap. Yep, Swoosh Strider picking up fastest lap. So 26 points for the
maximum points for him. He's bossing Division 2 right now.
Yes, that he is.
It's like a Hamilton. It's like a Hamilton Rosberg in 2014, 15, and 16. You know. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Congratulations to Swoosh Strider. For me, I think he is the driver of the day for me. I would have given it to Reece Ross if he didn't DNF, but I think it's Swoosh Strider for me, and simply because he's so consistent, apart from being very fast as well, but he's so consistent to keep the car on track without getting any penalties, and then that's a very, very consistent driving from him.
You're absolutely right there, Chris. And a great drive by the Alpine driver. Kept it smooth, kept it clean. Didn't really have much competition throughout the race, apart from say the first few turns. But yeah, great driving there by the Alpine driver to take his 4th win of the season. Do you want to run us through the final positions, Chris?
Yes, sure. So P1, rightly so, and again by Swoosh Strider on the Alpine. P2 got it by Bennett. P3 by Josh Axelsen in the Ferrari. It's a very good race from him as well. Even Bennett starting from 9th and 8th respectively. And then there's Lewis at P4, Jiggle Fingers, P5, Chappie Cho, P6, P7, Ryan Kai, P8, FaZe McBot, P9, King's Copper, P10, and losing out on points, exactly losing out on points, is WFI Unicorn Power, who's in the game is dictated as a DNF because he didn't complete enough laps to be considered in the points.
Yep. Unfortunate there for the Scuderia Ferrari driver, but that is round 4 for Delta Pace. Thank you so much for having me again, Chris. It's been a pleasure as always being alongside you.
I can only reciprocate that, Peter. I mean, I have enjoyed it every minute of this because, of course, your lovely commentating, the in-depth analysis and everything. It's absolutely special. Amazing.
Thank you, mate. Well, I was going to say goodbye now, and to everyone at Delta Pace, thank you for having me again. I hope I can commentate on another race soon. Obviously, it will depend on my work schedule, but yep, Chris, thank you so much for having me, and I'm going to clock out now. And have a good evening, everyone. Take care.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, and thank you, guys. And we'll see you in the next race, race 5, which is gonna be held next week, and it's gonna be at Zandvoort. See you guys, and take care.